Good evening, or afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've all had a very pleasant evening, afternoon so far, and enjoyed your meals. Now, over to the best man. Yeah. Big round of applause,
Thanks for James, but I'm not speaking first. Thank you, James. So everybody, I think we've all had a wonderful day today, an absolutely wonderful day today. We've got 3 speeches. We're going to hear from Roy, the father of the bride. We're going to hear from Mr. Griffiths himself, and then I will try and bring up the rear before we sort of disappear for a pause before this evening. So, without further ado, Roy, thank you very much, and let's give a big round of applause for Roy.
Michael and Natalie, fantastic. What a fantastic show they put on. That dress was absolutely fantastic.
Hey.
All I want to do, I want to keep this straight because I'm not used to speeches. Just to say, would you join me in a toast to Michael and Natalie? Absolutely. I want to wish them the best of health, good luck, and a happy future. Thank you. To Michael.
So, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful princess and a castle. But more about that fairy tale later. So we've come to that part of this fantastic day where it's time for me to say a few words. So let me start by thanking Roy for speaking today. I know, Roy, you'll be absolutely full of pride. And to see you walk down the aisle with your beautiful daughter stay on your arm, how fantastic was that?
Fantastic.
Absolutely. Roy, as I've got to know you, it's become obvious to me what a fantastic man you are and what a marvellous father you are to Natalie. And now, it will give me great pride to be able to call you my father-in-law. Thank you. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, in order to do it, can we show our appreciation for Roy? So also, I'd like to thank the wider McStocker family for being so kind to me and warm to me. Thank you to Mo, even. Thank you to Jamie. Thank you to Ellie and the children. And thanks to Jade, Josh and Reggie for, inviting me into your family and welcoming me, to your family. It's been very beautiful, and I've witnessed that today and felt that today, very much so. Thank you. I'd like to continue with a few more thank yous. If I can turn the page. So firstly, my beautiful wife Natalie and I mean that sounds amazing. My beautiful wife, wow. I'm going to ad hoc now because when we was out in the courtyard today, one of the gentlemen waiters came up and said, "This is for you and your wife," and he brought us a plate of food for me and my wife, and I said to him, I said, "Wow, that's the first time someone said that to me, that sounds amazing." And it really was amazing, and we enjoyed the food. It was just so nice that he said that, and I thought, wow, yeah, me and my wife. We sort of echoed Dawn's comments today, about how we are now man and wife, and it's sort of like completed the story, really. So, but we'd like to thank you, all of our guests, who have made the effort to join us here at Upper House on the occasion of our wedding. Natalie and I have put a great deal of thought and effort into making this day very special. But perhaps the most special part is having so many of our friends and family here to celebrate with us. It's been absolutely fantastic. With people who've travelled from as far as Hong Kong. Let's give that a clap. And from Canada. and from the south coast of England, the fells of Cumbria, and of course a lot of people a bit closer to home from the Midlands region and from Manchester. We thank you all. We sincerely extend our thanks to you all for making such a special effort. It makes the day, you know, it really, really, really does. Thank you.
This sort of works easily.
And of course, I must thank the team here at Upper House, led by Georgia, who have helped us put together this great celebration, and in particular for tolerating all my endless questions and requests for the day. You know, I know I can be a pain at times with my attention to detail and spreadsheets.
No.
You know, but so thank you for Georgia and her team for you know, to bear with me on that. The day has been fantastic so far, and I'm sure the rest of the evening will be just as fabulous. Georgia, we have a little something for you to say thank you, so would you like to come up?
You're going to make me cry.
Thank you so much. You're a round of applause for Georgia. You really do. Thank you. Thank you. And can we say a very special thank you to Dawn and Jamie for their warmest words during the ceremony earlier, for witnessing our marriage. Natalie and I were touched to our hearts. It was very, very special. Even more special than I thought when I written these words. It certainly very, very touched us for very, very different reasons. I'm now ad hocing. It was, you know, I mean, they were just beautiful words, you know, and Jamie, you know, your heartfelt words with some great humour. We loved it. And Dawn, you know, I mean, even the registrars were oohing and ahhing at your words. It was absolutely fabulous. Thank you for putting so much thought and attention into speaking at our wedding. It really is appreciated. There's a little something for you both to say thank you. So Dawn and Jamie, if you'd like to just to come up.
Go on, yeah.
What a gent.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Aye.
Thank you.
Ready?
Thank you. I'll just have the hand grippers. Thank you.
Of course, we'd also like to thank our gorgeous Flobber girl and page boy, Elvie and Freddie. Weren't they marvellous? Weren't those petals so pretty? Let's give them a clap. Woo-hoo. And now turning to the top table here. Firstly, thank you to Jade.
Oh my god.
Our beautiful bridesmaid. Doesn't she look absolutely amazing? Jade, you've really made Natalie the proudest mum with your unwavering support. Not only in the build-up to the preparation for our special wedding day, but also in your loving support as a daughter. It's just amazing, and we've a little something for you to say thank you for your help on our special day. Thank you.
You're welcome. Mine. I love you.
Now, of course, none of this would have been possible without our parents. You know, Mo and Roy, and Jean and Jim, who have brought us into this world and nurtured us through our childhood.
It was hard.
I love it. I love it. I know I speak with Natalie too when I extend our warmest appreciation for your love and support. And we've something for you both, which we feel you'll enjoy together as couples.
It's a flight to America starting now.
Let's get it on.
Birthday for my mum. And you got your dad a flight to Afghanistan.
No.
And then also this.
I know what that
We're getting barracks from the table here.
And it's at this point when I realise that I've missed something out. Because as well as the gift that I gave to Jade, I have these. Absolutely. I'm so sorry that I forgot about the first time round.
Can't see the top table.
Second room. Put me in your room.
So turning now to thank my ushers. Thank you to Reggie, Natalie's youngest son, who has done a fine job. Helping the rest of my groomsmen. And again I'm going ad hoc now, and he really did help us a lot because he was with us through all the photos. He held my hat, he held up the shoes, he held our champagne glasses for a long time, and I don't actually think he took a sip. But I might be wrong, but I don't think he did. He was absolutely fabulous, so thank you. And I think he deserves a round of applause. I think we'll all agree that he looks absolutely fabulous in his black tie suit today. So Reggie, we've put one of your favourite songs on the playlist tonight, so we really want to see you busting your moves in the dance floor. I hope you're not going to let us all down. I take it that's a yes, you're going to go for it. So, and can I also say thank you to Peter. Peter, one of my oldest friends, who's come all the way from Canada with his wife Patty. Sorry, his partner Patty, sorry. My apologies. To with us today, thank you for making such a special effort, Peter, and for helping with all the various groomsmen's tasks. It's been invaluable. Thank you very, very much. You've made it seamless and home tonight. The best man, make it go smoothly. Thank you. So now turning to my lead usher. I'm just going to take a drink. I've got it.
Okay.
My fabulous son, Danny. Who is a constant support to me through, well, pretty much everything in my life. He's a son that any father will be immensely proud of. Constantly reminds me of this through everything that he does. Thank you, Danny. You make me the proudest father possible. And could I also at this point extend special thanks to Danny's wife, Hannah, who's actually had 2 weddings to attend today. Joined us here this afternoon, having crossed the Pennines from her friend's wedding this morning. Natalie and I really appreciate that you are missing most of your friend's wedding to be with us. We really do appreciate it, thank you. So, turning back to my ushers, boys, we have something for you all as a thank you and as a memento of our day. So, if you'd like to come up. Thank you. Did you like that? Thank you.
Turn on your phone.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Have a photo.
So, now, turn into my best man, Mike.
Uh-oh.
It's not that bad, is it?
Yeah. Be alright.
I have so much to thank you for, Mike. Not only for your support today, but for the love and support throughout my entire life. You were always there, and always have been there, ever since we were just knee-high. I feel genuinely have been blessed to have such a fantastic friend. And best man, you know, I mean, this title is banded about, I suppose, but for me, it's such an appropriate title for you, as nobody could have a better man by his side on a day such as today. You truly are an amazing guy. And I've lost count of the number of Natalie's friends and family who have echoed that sentiment to me as they've got to know you in the build-up to our special day. Mike, we're singing for you too, and thank you once again. But I think we got a round of applause.
I'm going to change my seat. Right, very kind. Thank you. Thank you both.
So now, to the main part of my speech, which is of course to speak about my beautiful bride, Natalie. Known locally as Princess Natalie of Glossop. But more recently, and very recently in fact, as Mrs. Griffiths. My best friend. I think it's customary for the groom to tell a story about us, Natalie and I. Perhaps a story of what brought us together, and in particular, to this wonderful day. When we shared our vows and made our lifetime commitments to each other. Well, our story is perhaps a familiar one. Or at least I think it will have been familiar to most of us at some point in our lives. Particularly, perhaps when we were children. Many stories such as these have been written over the centuries. And as with our own story, many stories such as these include princesses. Castles. Villains, dragons, ogres, witches, and often a touch of magic. Well, our story, mainly before we met, has had all of those characters at one point or another, and in particular, far too many of the villains and witches. But it wasn't until a fabulous day, back on the 20th of May last year, when a touch of magic finally arrived in our story. And when that magic did arrive, the fairy tale to which I referred to when I opened my speech, and of which I am speaking now, finally came to life. For me, that day started with a fishing trip at a lake in Hyde, which is, for those of you who don't know, is a place where I was born, and not too far down the road, maybe about, I don't know, 6 or 7 miles. A place, in fact, which I fished many times with some of my friends here today. It was a day of many memories and reflection, as you might imagine. Now, I must admit that after a fishing trip, I do enjoy a few drinks. So, once I'd refreshed myself in the shower, I headed out to my local pub for a few beers and a few songs on the karaoke. And I think many of you who know me know I like a good few songs on the karaoke. And it was at that point when the magic I mentioned before arrives in this story. Natalie walked in through the door. I noticed her instantly, and I couldn't take my eyes off her. The magic for me was instantaneous. It's the sort of thing you see in romantic films or read about in romantic novels, but you never actually expect to experience that for yourself in your own life. The way we sum it up is that we had each other a hello. But perhaps you could say that the fishing trip on which I had started the day had ended with the greatest catch of my life. Thank you. But if that were not enough, our our fates were perhaps forever sealed much later in the evening, when after it was clear we were hitting the right notes with each other, Natalie asked if I was going to kiss her. Now, this took me a little bit by surprise, not least because we were right in the middle of a rather busy pub with many onlookers. But that said, I wasn't going to pass up on such an amazing opportunity. What was that?
Don't worry about it. Carry on.
So that said, I wasn't going to pass up on such an amazing opportunity, and of course, I wanted to impress her. So I kissed her with the degree of intent that I felt appropriate and waited a reaction. Which I completely misread. You see, she made a comment, which I will keep private for now, which made me think my efforts underwhelmed her. I really thought I'd blown it. I mean, and you can imagine, I'd blown this having a future with this beautiful girl. I was a bit gutted. Anyway, so shortly after, the opportunity came to kiss her for a second time. So I turned up the passion a little. To which natural response was, what was it? Oh my God. It turned out that my first kiss was more than good enough for Natalie. I had already ticked that box for her. So having turned up the intensity somewhat on my second attempt, there really was no looking back after that. Our relationship moved on very quickly, so much so that when I was injured during a go-karting session at my son's stag do back in June last year, Natalie headed straight to my door in Glossop to take care of me for a few days. Now, those of you who know Natalie will know that she's not only generous with her love and affection, but also materially. So she didn't hesitate to head off to the supermarket to bring back suitable provisions to cook for me.
Do you know what's doing?
Yeah.
But she didn't stop at cooking for me. Also in her bags of goodies were various cleaning products. Now, those of you who know me well know that I am not shy of cleaning. But when a girl comes to stay and she brings her own cleaning products, one might say she clearly had intentions of sticking around. And shortly after this period, Natalie headed off for a holiday, which she had previously booked with friends on her own. So after quite an intense whirlwind period, we were facing a week apart. It was heartbreaking for me, at least. But Natalie's love and devotion took another step forward. She left me with a little box.
Oh no.
I have it here. And in this box was a sealed envelope for each day that we would be apart. Naturally, I won't reveal the contents of each note, of course, but let me tell you, I was absolutely blown away by the thoughtful and romantic gesture. Never in my life had I experienced such love. Now, shortly after this, we attended my son's wedding in Cumbria, during which it became clear our relationship was forever. Natalie moved up to Glossop a few days later, so we could be together permanently. And then in November last year, we found this fantastic venue here at Upper House. We both fell in love once more, but this time with the venue. So, we went for it. And our fairy tale was completed with my proposal of marriage right here at Upper House on the very spot where we shared our vows earlier today. Wow. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what has brought us to this very special day, which perhaps was foretold by a very special person in the room. I won't mention her by name, but she told me many times there was a beautiful lady out there waiting for me.
Don't.
I didn't believe it, but she was right. And here she is, right now here, my wife Natalie. Well, I've probably taken up too much time now, so to conclude, and I know that I'm biased in such matters, but I really do think we'd all agree that my wife Natalie was absolutely stunning. Absolutely. I most definitely am the luckiest man in the whole wide world to have such a beautiful princess as my wife.
Yeah. So is she.
But most importantly, Natalie's beauty is far more than what you see on the outside. You see, the thing is, Natalie is quite simply a beautiful person, both inside and out. Of course, many of you Of course, many of you here today who know her well already know that. I recognised her inner beauty on the very first day that we met, and it's just grown and grown each and every day since. Natalie says so many lovely things to me about me and who I am. She says that I'm a perfect man. I mean, I really don't fully understand that why, because I'm just so far from perfect. But what I do know is that Natalie makes me a better person.
Yeah.
And all of what I've just been talking about is why it was the easiest decision I've ever made to ask Natalie to marry me. Natalie, every decision I've ever made in my life, whether good or bad, and every experience I've ever known, whether joyful or painful, have led me to you. And now, we will make decisions and share experiences together, as equals, hand in hand, side by side, for the rest of our lives. There are many examples in history which are defined by two people meeting and falling in love, which, if those people's whose paths had not crossed, would perhaps be very different. For example, Anthony and Cleopatra, Queen Victoria and Prince Albert, and of course our very own late Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip. Now, I have my very own princess, whom I will cherish and make memories with. And together, we will write our very own piece of history. Natalie, you may be the happiest man in the whole wide world. I am humbled yet privileged to be your husband, and I simply cannot wait to live our future lives together. Heaven knows we've waited long enough for each other.
Yes!
Ladies and gentlemen, would you join me in raising your glasses to my beautiful bride, Natalie?
The bride!
Must be love.
Thank you. So, I think now, and thank you for your attention there and your patience. Probably took a little longer than I thought, but thank you. So I think now I'm to hand over to my best man, who will apparently say a few kind words about me.
Well,
Follow that.
thank you very much. It's impossible to follow that. That was beautiful. Mike, you're still smiling. Not sure how long for. There are two versions of this speech. Obviously, for the video, this is rated 12A. What I'm about to do, we have some younger minds around. Join me at the bar for the X-rated version. And Natalie, feel free to, we can fill in some gaps that you may not know. I want to talk to you and probably tell you a few tales and share a few stories, of course, today. Firstly, I want to say a few thank yous. I'm going to refer to the ladies on this top table as the bridal ladies. So we have Jean, and we have Mo, and we have Jade. And I think it's already been referred to there, they are looking absolutely stunning.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. Good conversation, and I've loved meeting you, Mo, for the first time, and Jade as well. So congratulations. What I would say is you've been very gracious, though, because you've allowed Natalie, Michael's princess, to shine through, and you absolutely do look so stunning. It's a bit of a shame for you though, Mike, because you're up against 4 hunky ushers and nice try, but you know. You gave it a go.
I got the girl.
I haven't finished yet. Touche. I'd like to say, on behalf of everyone, a big thank you to this couple. This wedding, the celebration, I think we all agree is first class. You've explained and shared some of it today. I know what sort of heart and energy that both Michael and Natalie have put into this, and believe me, as ushers, it's been military precision, but it's helped the day go absolutely fantastically, so I'll try and not ruin that. I certainly feel very privileged to be here. That's basically because Mike hasn't heard the content of this. But I'm sure we all do, to play a part, to share the memories, make the memories, and let's be honest, the day is only halfway through, so we've got a night of dancing and partying and stories to be told, so a lot more to look forward to. But you've been very generous. You know, the whole day, the ceremony, I found very moving. We referred to some of the speakers and some of the words. The setting is fantastic. The ambience, the food, the generosity with the drinks, just really, really first class. And I'm sure I speak for everybody when I say thank you very much for allowing us to be here with you and to celebrate this, because you've not done anything by half standards. So congratulations to you both. I clap, but I haven't got enough hands, so but I'm clapping with you. Now, Natalie, on a serious point, I know how much you love not only Michael, but how much you love, as I often refer to him, Mike's name, which is actually Michael. And that's a very nice thing. So, today, from now on, I will mostly refer to the best man, to the groom, your husband, as Michael. Mostly. And also to Jean and Jimmy, because you did christen him and name him Michael. However, to a few of us, Michael has a few other names. Mike, of course, Mick, Miggy, are some of the cleaner ones I can refer to. More to come later. But back in the days of school, and I'm afraid I'm going to have to take you that far back, you also had a name that you shared with one of your stepsons. So it's not Josh, but it is in fact Reggie.
I told you.
Michael had a crew at school called Reggie's Crew. I don't know how many people know this in the room.
You did.
Anyway, this was something that Reggie really didn't get along with, but to the rest of us it was highly amusing. You see, Reggie led his crew at school in a cool black leather jacket. And bearing in mind this is the 12A version, he had a rather unique emblem that had wings chalked onto the back of it by one of the rather skilled artists. It wasn't me.
Was that Peter?
Maybe some of the other school friends in the room can elaborate on that a little bit later. But we might be considered friends in the loosest possible sense, I'm sure. But suffice to say, Michael did not appreciate the special artistic services afforded to his prize leather jacket. Now, talking of school days, Michael was a high achiever. I'm sure you know this, Natalie. Gifted, intelligent, and a grafter. Didn't always come easily, but he made it happen. And I certainly did my level best to sit next to him every time in every class that I possibly could.
Oh, yeah.
Mainly to try and share our learnings. So big thank you from me for helping drag me along on the back of your tailcoats. I owe you so much, Reggie. Thank you. His skills were not just of the academic nature. In fact, Michael has been a high achiever throughout his life. as I said, not only his studies, but his leadership. For example, he was patrol leader in our scout group. He was very particular, very demanding, but a good leader. I would say that. He always had the most badges, could light a fire in any weather. I've got an X-rated version of why he could do that, but that's...
What is it?
No, we've got young minds in But anyway, as our friendships grew, Michael, Peter, Dave, who can't be here today, and myself used to share an early passion, as we've heard, for fishing, for angling. Dave was the master Jedi fisher, closely followed by Michael, because he was a particular, really particular student, and Dave was a really good angler. And we went every time we could. Sometimes we could walk to where we were going. Sometimes we relied on our parents to take us to wherever we were going. And but there came a point where that wasn't enough, and Michael would take the initiative. So Michael was one of the first out of all the friendship groups, peer groups, to get his license, his driving license, and very quickly secured a motorbike, which I think. I didn't drive one, but you could ride one on an L plate, as I seem to recall. And am I right in saying when you pass your test, you could add the sidecar?
You could add it before.
You could add it before, okay, so that was the thing. Anyway, one of the benefits of having a motorbike and a sidecar is that you can take your friend fishing. So you would often see Michael and I shooting up the road, rods in hand, Wallace and Gromit style. I should point out these were fishing rods, not our rods, because that would be rude. So. But Michael would make it happen, and off we'd go fishing, and many happy times there. There is an X-rated version for that as well. There's quite a few. Now, if you're in the know, I think again, Michael, Reggie, whatever we're doing today, when you passed your motorcycle test, that allowed you to drive the Robin Reliant, is that correct?
Three-wheel, yeah.
So for anybody who's not familiar with the Robin Reliant, the three-wheeler car from Only Fools and Horses? Okay, a red one.
Absolutely.
It was, I will say it was a matte red car. This was before matte paint finishes were trendy. But beggars shouldn't be ungrateful, and yet again it was another set of wheels. I think the sidecar and motorbike were sidelined and ditched, and off we went. So Dave, who can't be here, myself and Michael, pretty big, pretty tall lads with rods and bags and bait and nets, all crammed into this three-wheeler Reliant, and off we go up to Marple and what have you. But actually, it's funny, and it was how the heck we did it, I do not know. But off we went, but you were gifted. You went off. You made it happen, and actually very, very grateful. Not only did Michael's generosity extend to the fishing, but also Peter and I used to get regular lifts to college. Now, going to college in the Robin Reliant in the 1980s was an interesting sort of feeling. Peter seems to have a recollection that we were dropped about half a mile down the road from the college. You see, back in the 80s, it was all Miami Vice, Crockett and Tubbs, but let me tell you, this was a little bit more George and Mildred. But it was hilarious, and nothing would stop this man when he set his mind to it, and genuinely, you were a top man, and very generous with it. Now, you said some kind words to me which I feel actually pale into insignificance when I consider my friendship with you. You see, as I think Michael's alluded to, myself, Michael and Peter, one of the ushers, we go back to being way high, right down here. My parents kind of knew each other, and we've been friends for actually longer than I can remember, over 50 years. You know, I know I don't look it, but over 50 years. And I think friendships genuinely of that length and this intensity and closeness are quite rare. I often think it's not about the number of friends, it's the quality of friends, which is really important. And this man we have in front of us today, who's been very generous outwards, I really have to pour some very deep affection and thanks. Sometimes almost doesn't feel enough in terms of what you've done for me through the years. Good friends kind of know your life story. Best friends live your life story with you. And that's what this man has done. Let me tell you, obviously to get to 50 and something, and you indicated it yourself with your own journey between yourself and Natalie. You live a bit of life. Life can be challenging. There are ups and there are certainly some downs, and I think we all understand that in the room. But it didn't matter what it was, whether it was a job interview, a relationship issue, a medical appointment, whatever it was, at any time, this man has either gone, I never have asked you actually, a photographic memory, because there would always be a phone call or a message or a WhatsApp wishing you the best just before, or just enough time before you went into a meeting or the appointment or whatever it would be, to know that he was thinking about you, and if you needed to talk, that you were there. And that really doesn't happen very often in life. And when I use the term best friend, that example is priceless, absolutely priceless. And I think I'll finish this section by saying, I said to you when I had my own marriage to Dawn a few years ago now, that if I had to go into battle, it's you that I would want by my side.
Fucking hell.
And let's be honest, you've taken a few punches for me through the years as well. So what's a few bullets? Just hold that thought when I talk to you about the stag do, okay? Just hold that when we get together. So and I'm sure everybody in the room cannot fail to be so delighted that you've met one another and you've spoken so eloquently about it. It's beautiful to hear and for you to be so open and share that love story. It's truly beautiful. I'm very confident that I know you have something very strong, something that is still growing between you both, special and lasting. And I personally sense such a high mutuality, the respect, I think you didn't use that word, but the respect that I see to one another just gives us just a wonderful platform, foundation, call it what you will now, to really push on and just make the world your own. And I, for one, can't wish any more happiness on you. I'm just absolutely delighted, and I feel the love in the room as well, to be honest. So we really do. Thank you for allowing us to be here, but we send you away with our love and deepest respect and thanks. You're a beautiful couple. And Natalie, I am, having, as I think I've established now, in Mike and I, we've lived our lives, very closely and felt one another's ups and downs. I can't tell you how delighted I am that you're in Michael's life. And I go one step further, I'm delighted you're now in our lives as well. It's truly magical. So, from me, congratulations. I think I might be overrunning it. Anyway, I'll speed up a little bit. Anyway, I cannot leave you without at least taking you through some of the stag do.
No, don't.
You're in safe hands. This is still the 12A version. Okay. So, I was under orders from Natalie. Keep him safe and in one piece. Fair enough.
And no
reasonable
gunfire.
request. Sorry?
And no Go-karting.
Well, I'll come on to that. So, in one piece, fair enough, as I've said, reasonable request. Then Michael said, he didn't say quite like this, but it's his party, I'd like to do an activity. So maybe we go fishing or something like that. I think you've established we like fishing. Or maybe something with motorsports. Now, he's already volunteered a line that I'm going to cover in this, with his son's stag do, that he managed to come off the grey stuff and hit a steel girder, which not many people can do, and re-injured a rather serious rib injury he'd already had a few years earlier. So it presented a challenge. I thought fishing was a safe option, but I thought, am I going to be able to convince a group of guys to go fishing on a Saturday afternoon in Leeds, when really bars and other things beckon? I thought I can sell, but I can't sell this one. So motorsport I felt a bit more safe. Anyway, with Keep Him Safe in One Piece ringing in my ears and his past fiascos of driving, I thought this was high risk. Anyway, I found a solution, one that I was rather proud of, if I don't mind saying myself. I found the opportunity to go paintballing in mini tanks, and I thought not even Mike can hurt himself in a mini tank. He's got to be safe. I've cut a bit of this out, but that's okay. Anyway, so the venue was chosen. We headed up to Leeds for the stag weekend on the Friday. We had beers and some singing. You heard that Mike likes to sing. And not is he just a studious guy, a good-looking guy, got his own princess and what have you, but he can sing, he makes guys sick, he can just do everything so well. But we had a great night, and Mike sang some songs, and we all had a really good buzz. I think that's fair enough for Josh and Kylan. I think they had a really good night to a point, but then they decided maybe leave the oldies to it. They were the advanced party for the Saturday night exploit, so they went off to find some different sort of venues and some different opportunities. But no, I don't think there's anything. Don't misread it. This is still the 12A version. So. But anyway, a good night was had by all. We were sober enough to be able to go and drive the next day. Bearing in mind we were riding these tanks, so off we headed to Doncaster. So we headed down the motorway, got to this wonderful events place, and it's out in the middle of a forest. And we drive these tanks, and they're, I don't know, probably 2 times the size of a go-kart. But they don't actually fully enclose you. This is where part of my mistake was. They kind of come up to here. So we had to don all the safety kit and helmet and goggles and what have you. But still, with Natalie's words ringing in my ears, I thought, I've got to get him back in one piece. Otherwise, my life is not worth living.
You didn't listen to him though, did you?
Anyway, the way the format went was basically it was one-on-one. So we all paired up. Michael and I decided we'd go last. We thought we'll watch and learn and watch all the mistakes that are made, and then we'll just bring up the rear and we'll have some fun. We also, I thought, made a pact. But that seemed to go out the window. You see, there were lots of trees and truck tyres and different things around, obstacles and what have you. And the way you drive a tank, you push a lever. 2 levers to go forward and left and right to turn. And you have a machine gun in front of you, so it stop-start. You really need 3 hands, but, it doesn't work like that, does it? Anyway, we had a plan. We said we'd enjoy, we'd go on the perimeter. These are long-barreled paint guns, so if you've done paintballing before, they hurt. These really hurt, because they've got extra velocity. So, a couple of older guys, let's do it right. Let's not, do too much here. That's how we started off. We ventured out. Short bursts of machine gun fire, quite enjoyable. Couple of hits, nothing too drastic. Until my machine gun jammed. And my so-called friend, who I've spoken so deeply about, remember, I'd go into battle with you, decided it would be okay to come full speed, maximum speed, with maximum velocity on his machine gun. and I was helpless, and I was peppered, and I was splattered, and I was hurting. Now, I don't know to this day whether Michael knew that Michael had jammed, or he just saw opportunity and went for it. I don't know. Anyway, one of the guys stepped in, and for a brief moment I was okay. My machine gun was repaired. And anyway, Michael moved into a close distance of about 6 or 7 metres, and we proceeded to carry on for the rest of the session that we had together. And basically, we blasted 7 bells out of each other for the last 30 seconds, in only the way that friends can. And if I tell you we had bruises, and if I tell you that some of the bruises didn't have skin on, that's the sort of level of the pain. I'm glad to say that youth prevailed on the day, because there was actually some last minute time. We were supposed to be last. Danny, his son, was able to go out and have the last duel with his father, and Danny had the last word. And Danny, I don't think I've formally said this before, but thank you. But I want to say to the stags in the room, lots of new friendships made, and started new friendships. And we're all different backgrounds, different age groups, and all sorts of things, but I really enjoyed meeting you and spending time with you, and it was good fun. So, to all the stags. Well, Jamie, I was just about to say, if you're unsure who the stags are, all you have to do is, Jamie, what do you have to do? Listen out for
Eyes.
I don't remember the full story, but it was eyes. So I think we created a new trend around Leeds in and around that weekend. So we'll go and see Jamie. He'll tell you the full 9 yards behind that story. You need to refresh me a bit later. But a really good time, and we had a cracking time together. So bringing this to a close now, as I think I must, given the time is pushing on, I'd like to congratulate you both and wish you every happiness and all the love in the world, and I've explained why and how deeply I mean that. I truly believe you both deserve one another and the best, and I know you'll bring out the best in one another. It's absolutely apparent to me. So I would like to, there will be some champagne that's been served whilst I've been talking. Deepest congratulations, all our deepest love, and the toast is to the bride and groom.
To the bride and groom!
Many happy years.
I've got a feeling that one might stick.